Hey everyone, welcome to There's Nobody Here Named Josh, the podcast where we are true to the name that there is no one currently here named Josh. I'm Kevin, and we're here by Will, Mr. Muffled.
What's going on, friends?
and we're here with Aaron.
Hey guys.
Now, again, before we begin officially, we got to lay down the ground rules. Now, do you remember what the ground rules is, Will and Aaron?
I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's anyone supposed to be here named, oh Christ, what was it? John? Josh, that's it, Josh.
Felipe. Might be Felipe. Now,
no Felipes allowed.
That's I wonder what Josh is in Spanish.
Josh.
Josh?
Probably Josh.
It might be.
Hosh?
Hosh. That's they say all their
Hosh, yeah, maybe Hosh.
I think all the H's or J's sound like H's, like Jose.
Jose.
So I'd like to apologize on the podcast. My audio is a lot worse than usual. I'm not at my usual recording setup. I'm at a completely different house entirely, actually.
That's okay. That's all right. We're not going to be here too long today.
But I find your audio disrespectful.
Do you?
I find my audio disrespectful. Are you kidding? I did a test recording beforehand.
I think everybody should find your audio disrespectful.
It's insulting.
You should post. You should
disrespectful audio.
You should go on our social media and tell people how disrespectful Will's audio is, so people who are listening.
Public apology.
I'll go on my own social media and tag nobody here named Josh on it, saying, "I'm sorry, I fucked up."
Yeah, public apology.
Do
for
that.
My audio.
Do that. Do that.
I'll make like a proper formal apology. I'll post a YouTube video.
Perfect. Do that. Now, today's topic, we're going to make this a relatively short podcast today. Today's topic is superheroes. Now I know that's a general topic, right? That's a general
superheroes.
Thing. So we're going to stick to a superhero like Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, the Tick, that kind of superhero.
I like how you went like Marvel, DC, and then just the Tick.
So, okay, tell me, what qualifies somebody for the title of superhero?
I'm glad you said that. That was actually, we did not plan that. That was a perfect segue because I actually have the definition of superhero right here in front of me.
Okay, perfect.
That was a perfect segue. It says here, a superhero is a stock character, quote unquote, that possesses abilities beyond those of ordinary people, who typically uses their powers to help the world become a better place, or is dedicated to protecting the public and stopping evil.
Right.
That is what the textbook superhero or superheroine says. That's what it says there.
So I heard powers, I think.
Yeah. So some powers beyond the scope of a normal human being.
That's right. Yeah.
So what's Iron Man's deal then?
Iron Man just has a lot of money.
This is the thing too. This is why I like Batman and Iron Man so much. Is not so much that they're rich. Their superpowers, their intellect. They're super smart, and
That's
thereby
true.
They're able to use their smarts to make their stuff.
That's very true because it says
Perfect.
It doesn't say, it says possess abilities beyond those of ordinary people. like Iron Man and those types of people have extraordinary intelligence.
Exactly. And extraordinary bank accounts.
Yeah, extraordinary bank accounts.
If it wasn't for their bank accounts, their intellect would mean nothing.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean,
not necessarily nothing, but
they're able to invent. I mean, look at what Tony Stark built that friggin' suit in a cave, So
yeah, out of pieces of his own
old missiles and junk.
That's right. So, out of his own shit, right?
And their inventions are what gives them their money.
That's right.
So that would be interesting, though. You make a good point, Will. I'd like to see a superhero, because if you look at Tony Stark and Batman, they both sort of grew up in money. You know what I mean? So it'd be interesting to see. I don't know if there's a superhero that exists along the same sort of paradigm where they're hyper intelligent but also flat broke. That would be
fucking Hobo Man.
Yeah.
Hobo Man.
That'd be a really interesting kind of character arc to see, like, one of these Batman level brains that doesn't have the Batman money.
I would be interested to see that done, but have that person continue to refuse extra money.
They just don't like money.
Yeah. You dropping shit over there, Aaron?
No, my water bottle hit the side of the table. I'm just trying to stay hydrated, guys. It's really hot out.
It's always good to stay hydrated.
Fuck, you know what? That's a good point. I'm not going to be hitting my microphone this episode.
Yeah.
No, you won't be. Okay. So that's a really good start to the conversation about that kind of superhero. Now we're gonna go down the whole trope. Who's your favorite superhero? Who's your favorite? Blah 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 blah. So I'll start out this time. And my favorite superhero, probably for my entire life, if anybody of my friends or family hears this, they'll know it. What do you think it is then? What were you saying?
Lion-O.
No, actually. Surprise,
really?
Surprise. He's
not a superhero.
No, Lion-O was not a superhero.
Oh, he's a hero. Maybe not a superhero.
No. My favorite superhero of all time is Superman.
I knew this.
Boo!
I just completely fucking blanked from me. I knew that.
Yeah, it's Superman. I used to love Superman. Well, I still love Superman. I don't have any Superman action figures. That's probably one of the ones I should start picking up. Are like Superman action figures and things like that.
The Ubermensch.
The Ubermensch, yes. little action figures of Hitler around.
Like Superman has always been to me like the fever child of such a spoiled kid, when like you got two kids in the playground or just like, well, I've got this red car and it can go fast, and the kid's like, well, my blue car can go fast and it can jump, and then this kid comes in, he's like, well, my car is green and it can jump and go fast and it's got lasers and it doesn't die and the sun is its... And it's just like, okay, calm down. Like, you've got everything.
Yeah.
Superman really does feel like the fucking playground argument. Like, oh no, I can do everything. If I fly around the Earth, I can travel through time, so I don't have everything.
Well,
so I can't travel through time on my own, but I can...
like, why have any other superheroes when you've got Superman?
Well, you know what? Believe it or not, Superman did not start out having all these powers. He did not. Surprise! Did you not know that, Will?
Well, no, I knew this. I'm saying, well, yeah, obviously, like he's on Earth, but he has this.
Well, no, Superman. No, I'm talking about Superman did not start out with the ability to fly. Superman did not fly in the first comic books.
Good.
He was able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. All he was able to do was jump really high.
Yeah, he was faster than a speeding bullet.
And he's faster than a speeding bullet, up in the sky.
Yeah, really weird 1950s shit that would impress those people.
Yeah, so like Superman wasn't...
It's a bird! It's a plane! No, exactly. It's Superman!
He can balance his checkbook in 5 minutes.
Exactly. So Superman wasn't first able to fly. Surprise, surprise. He was able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. He was actually able to just jump really, really high. It wasn't until like I'm not exactly sure when that is. I could probably look it up, but if I wanted to. But it wasn't because this comic book writer just gave him the ability to fly one day. And during the comic, and they just kept it going. From then.
I would love to see how they tried to explain that away. It's just like, oh, by the way, I can fly now.
Yeah, it was just ta-da.
Gee willikers, Superman. It would have been great for you to be able to have been able to fly last issue when my wife's life depended on it, but sure glad you can fly now. Sorry about that, Billy.
Yeah. Now, here's a couple little bit tidbits of Superman that you may or may not know, that some of our listeners may or may not know. Superman is half Canadian.
That's right. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that, Will?
I think I heard that like once or twice from people, but I wasn't completely sure.
Superman,
one of the creators was Canadian, wasn't he?
Yep, and the 1930s Metropolis was actually based on 1930s Toronto.
Oh, get out! That I didn't know.
Yeah, it was actually based on 1930s Toronto, but eventually it morphed into New York. But it was based in 1930s Toronto. Ta-da! Bet you didn't know that. You didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Yeah, it was two Jewish guys that came up with Superman.
That's right. That's right.
I thought you were making a joke at first there.
No, actually not. Nope, not at all.
Two Jews walk into a bar and they invent Superman.
That's it. That's the joke.
That's it. There's the joke.
Siegel and Schuster. Their names were Siegel and Schuster.
Awesome. Yeah, actually, so speaking of based on cities, Gotham is directly based off of New York and actually named for New York because on a lot of old blueprints, like city planning documents, before New York was ever named, it was originally called Gotham.
Yep.
Really?
So there's a lot of like land titles and stuff, like Gotham District and things like that. So then like the whole city became New York or whatever. But so the guy had found like some old documents that had Gotham on. And he's like, oh, that's really cool names. Like, so he ended up taking that and putting it to his fictional city to set his to set Batman in.
That's a little bit about Gotham, a little bit about Metropolis. But yeah, so like when I was growing up, I used to actually, because kids have overactive imaginations, I used to actually pretend I was Superman when I was a kid.
As a fucking kid, I would pretend I was Captain Underpants. So,
well, when Aaron was a kid, he used to pretend he was human.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I used to pretend I had friends.
I believe.
Aaron,
that.
Why do you think I was pretending I was Captain Underpants when I was fucking 6?
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now a little bit more about Superman before we go on to another one. In a contract dated from March 1st, 1938. Get this. This is disappointing. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster gave away the copyright to Superman to their employer, DC Comics, then known as Detective Comics. Mm-hmm. Before Superman's first publication in April. Just gave it away. Just here you are.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Between 19, but the whole rumor about them selling it to DC Comics for only $130 was not true. Between 1938 and 1947, DC Comics paid them together over $400,000 back then, which is equivalent to about $6 million today.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's a little bit about Jerry Siegel, Joe Shuster.
Some cash money right there.
That's some
a little bit of pocket change.
Yeah, exactly. And to this day, they, Schuster died in 1992, and Siegel died in 96, and they were battling the copyrights right up until they died. Yeah, and it sucked. It sucked, but that's
and they still haunt the office to this day.
And I just read this. I didn't know this. Unless DC Comics probably boosts the copyright again, Superman is due to enter the public domain in 2033.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, wow. That'll be interesting.
But, however, this would only apply to the character as he is depicted in Action Comics #1, the 1938 development.
Right.
So the very first version of Superman is due to enter the public domain in 2033. And, so that sucks. That part sucks.
I mean, if it's only the first version, then it's probably not going to go completely buck wild. But
well, I mean, yeah, how does that suck? I'd be like, have at it, people. Get creative. What are you going to do? Like, it's just
have fun.
It's literally just a cartoon version.
That's right. Like none of the
None of the movies or games or anything, So it's like, literally just like a 1930s guy in a cape and red underwear. So
yeah, he didn't have heat vision then. He wasn't able to fly then. The S symbol that we know about Superman right now was not a thing. It was just a triangle with an S in it.
Yeah.
For super.
Yeah. Man, what a loser.
Yeah, that's the one right there.
What a fucking quad.
Yeah.
First Superman sucked.
I think he did. He did. Okay, that was enough about Superman. So who wants to go next?
Will.
Dead silence.
All right.
I nominate William.
All right, Will.
I almost guarantee you have one though, Aaron.
I don't.
Yeah, you do. You showed me in the office, man. You need to talk about that one.
He's not a real superhero, though.
Yeah, I know, but you need to talk about him later.
All right.
Does Dungeons and Dragons count? No, it doesn't.
No.
Fuck, I don't know. Okay.
It could be anybody, man. It could be anybody from like Dragon Ball Z or anybody like that.
So many. Well, those don't count as superheroes. Like in those worlds, so many people can do that shit. It doesn't count.
Okay, I get your point.
I'm gonna throw this out here right now. A lot of people might get mad just for the fact that I know jack shit about superheroes in general. I never paid too much attention to it.
All 10 of our listeners, it's all good.
Yeah. The people of Romania are extremely
it's more than I get on my live streams.
Hey man, we just got a listener in Israel.
And because of Will's lack of superhero information, we just lost a listener in Israel.
That's right.
Tunes in, he's like, he doesn't know shit about superheroes.
This guy's a fraud, fake fan.
We'll go into that stuff later. So, okay, what's your superhero there, Mr. Will?
I'm gonna say Deadpool.
Deadpool, nice.
Good pick.
See, the thing with Deadpool, like I looked a little bit into Deadpool before the whole like remake with Ryan Reynolds without the mouth sewing.
Okay.
And
which we'd like to go down the record and say that was the worst.
Yeah, no, it was
ever.
It was pretty weird. It's pretty shit. Didn't really see the appeal.
Rob Liefeld, I think, who was the creator.
Liefeld, I believe.
Liefeld.
I could be wrong. Adam, if Adam, our producer, shows up in here later, he will correct you on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, like the what was it? 2016 it came out.
Which one?
The movie? Or
the movie. The movie called Deadpool.
Oh, the movie called Deadpool.
Yeah.
Was it that? I thought it was a little earlier.
It might. Well, let's.
Maybe 2015.
No, it's 2016.
2016. All right.
Yeah.
I saw Deadpool and I saw Deadpool 2, and those were kick ass.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Like I loved it.
Yeah. I'm really happy that they kept it R.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, Ryan Reynolds was a great fit for it, and Deadpool is such a sarcastic twat. It just something about the anti-hero thing is just great to me.
I legitimately think that we wouldn't have the Deadpool films if it wasn't for Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, he was a very big proponent in them. Actually, interestingly about Deadpool is he's a direct ripoff of Deathstroke.
Really?
Yeah, so much so that they didn't even hide the fact and named him Wade Wilson, and Deathstroke's name is Slade Wilson. Yeah, so literally as a joke, they were just like, yeah, no, Wade Wilson. So he's supposed to be like the what do you call it? The Marvel equivalent to Deathstroke. But they just were like, let's just make him the most ridiculous character we possibly can, and then you get Deadpool.
Okay, other than manga, there was actually one comic book I read, and that was Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
Oh,
nice.
They need to make that into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fucking wild ride.
Can you imagine the movie that could be made out of that?
I'd watch
Can we make Infinity War again, but with Deadpool instead of Thanos?
Yeah.
We can call it Infinity Pool or something like that.
We really need to see them bring the X-Men into the universe because I want to see him and Wolverine go at it.
Well, they did have a cameo by the X-Men.
I mean, the whole first movie, like,
yeah, sort of.
Buddy was there.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're all part of the same universe, right? But so
yeah,
Marvel's working on that right now and how they're going to introduce the X-Men into the cinematic universe. So that'll be fun.
Well, I don't know what Deadpool 3 is even going to look like because Fox was bought by Disney.
Yeah, if they don't keep it R, they're not.
Yeah.
Disney is capable of doing R. I just feel like they try to dance around shit too much.
Well, Disney is capable to do an R, but will they? Because can you think of one R-rated Disney movie? Because I can't.
I can't think of any movie off the top of my head. Why are you making me think of a specific rating?
Like, exactly. If you can't think of it,
sure.
I legitimately cannot think of an R-rated Disney movie.
Judge Dredd.
I don't think that's a Disney movie.
Yeah.
I just Googled R-rated Disney movies, and Judge Dredd was something there.
Disney has released more R-rated movies than you expect.
Yeah, because I know they have released some. And I mean, not directly Disney, but like they own the property that released the film. So technically,
Pretty Woman was it? What? What? Starship Troopers?
Well, again, not directly Disney, but Disney's the parent company for the production companies that release those films. So
okay, well then I can see how they're going to get around that because Fox is now owned by Disney.
Yeah, so it'll be a Fox release and it'll be R, but Disney technically owns the property, but Disney's not going to be producing it. It won't be billed as a Disney film. It's not going to have the castle at the beginning of the fucking movie.
Which would be hilarious because I could see Deadpool making fun of that. Please put the castle in the movie.
No,
Can we get a Deadpool 3 with a Disney, like, big 3D CGI castle? And just Deadpool fucking killing shit?
That'd be right up the alley for that. That'd be, yeah. Or he's at Disney World for the opening credits. And he's like saving some kids from terrorists or something, and it's like all slow-mo.
Or he's riding the Matterhorn or something like that with big Mickey ears on his head.
Yeah, and he's shooting his guns off. And awesome. That's what the world needs.
You know what they need to do though? They need to have Ryan Reynolds' brand of gin in a Deadpool movie.
And him making fun of it. Like, who the hell? Who the fuck would drink this shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who names a gin aviation and says fly safe? Who is flying while drinking this?
Yeah. and him having that cell phone company he owns now.
He owns a cell phone company?
Yeah, Ryan has a cell phone company now.
Wow.
Reynolds is fucking everywhere. God damn.
Yeah.
He's branching out. There you go.
Yeah. You guys didn't know that? Really?
No. Well, he's diversifying his portfolio. That's smart. I respect it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at what it's called. I know he has a cell phone company now.
As a fellow Canadian, it's nice to I'm doing well. I'm good. I'm proud.
Mint Mobile. Yeah.
Mint Mobile.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Mint Mobile. In November 2019, he purchased an ownership stake in Mint Mobile.
Cool.
Just took it. That's his now.
Yeah, it's his.
Yeah. He owns it. It's all him.
Yeah, that's what he does. Apparently, that's what he does. So I agree with you. I think Deadpool's a pretty rockin' one. I think he would be an anti-hero more than a superhero, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, still super though.
He is.
Yes.
He does. He have extraordinary powers.
But yeah, you would fall under the category of anti-hero.
But I totally agree. I fucking love Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
The baby legs.
He's one of my favorites, actually. He's pretty good.
Love Deadpool. All right, so, Mr. Aaron. Which
That was like a me level sound. What the fuck?
I don't know. that's a tricky one, man. It's the same thing for movies. Like, it's hard for me to pick a singular favorite, and I hate to be fucking Johnny Fence Rider on this one, but again, like with a lot of superheroes, there's so many different properties and different ones that I like for different reasons. You know, Iron Man, Batman are definitely right up there in my tops. Like, of course, I love Deadpool. I always thought the Punisher was cool. Ghost Rider, I was a really big fan of when I was a kid. And then by extension, like when the Punisher became Ghost Rider, and then was like flying through the galaxy with baby Thanos, that happened, and that's freaking awesome.
That's wild. What the hell?
Yeah, dude, look into that. I think it's Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's called. So Frank Castle ends up taking on the. I think it's in like a what if story, but like Frank Castle ends up taking on the mantle of Ghost Rider. So he's like Ghost Rider Punisher, and then he goes back in time and steals Thanos as like a baby, and then raises him as his own. And so it's literally like, yeah, it's wild. So the whole comic is like this, like Thanos, or like Ghost Rider Punisher flying through the universe, with baby Thanos, like getting into adventures and stuff.
That's wild.
Yeah. I need to see that.
Yeah, it's called Cosmic Ghost Rider. I always thought that was a really cool thing. Spider-Man, gotta put some love out there for Spidey.
You got it.
Which Spider-Man?
To Peter Parker.
Well, no, like you're talking comics, you're talking movies. If you're talking the movies, what glasses?
Just Spider-Man in general, man. Just Peter Parker. Old
Spidey. The original one, right? Original Spider-Man.
Yeah, sure.
Because I guess Spider-Man's been like a couple people, like Miles Morales or something like that.
Just Peter Parker.
just Peter Parker.
Just good old Spider-Man. There's been a lot of alternate characters and alternate realities and adding things and doing this and going there, and it's like, you know, there was a frog Thor. At some point, all that stuff just is just superfluous. Again, I think
someone had like a weird acid trip and wrote down a bunch of ideas.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've always been a fan of coming up with new stories, not rehashing the same old things or reskinning something. I think that there should be female roles. I think that there should be minority roles. I think that there should be all kinds of those roles. I don't think that it's fun or inventive to just be like, hey, guess what? Black Spider-Man or Latino Wolverine. Like, I just make a character, man. Come up with a cool new character.
They did Black Spider-Man, though.
Yeah.
Miles Morales. He's black.
And a lot of people love Miles Morales, and I think he's I'm not a fan. Like, I'm okay, that's cool. I'm not interested in it.
And that's perfectly fair.
Mm-hmm. Because I've already got the Spider-Man story. Like, Spider-Man is Spider-Man. He's Peter Parker, but get it. You know, literally you're telling the same story, but from like someone else's point of view. It's like, okay, so you're Spider-Man again, but different. Just make a new character, man. Just give me a new character. But they've been doing that kind of thing for years, and there's tons of them that, you know, there's crossovers and team ups, and it's hard, right? Like with a property that lasts so long, you have to keep it energized, so you have to keep it new and infuse it with different things. But, you know, like I said, I'd like to see new stories, new characters. You know, put some of them to bed. You know, Peter Parker's been Peter Parker for like 100 years. Like, we get it. Maybe like let Spider-Man sort of
let him grow old.
Yeah, let him grow old and, like, you know, move on to something else. Then it's like, oh,
well, they're giving him a bunch of like Stark's shit too, aren't they?
I
think just in the movies. I'm not sure. I don't follow the comic books.
I think it might just be the movies. I don't follow the comic books at all.
No, yeah, it's the movies they're doing. But I'm talking more about the comics and stuff.
Okay.
I mean, even in the films, like, I think we've don't get me wrong. That new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales in it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great movie. That was awesome.
I actually have not seen it. I should see it.
Oh, I loved it.
Good. It's so good. So well done. So many beautiful little touches and homages and little tiny details. Super awesome.
The Rubik's Cube was so fucking good.
Right?
That was hilarious.
Yeah, like, Miles is he's a cool character. I just, like I said, it's one of those things where I see it and I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna jump for joy over it or run out and grab every comic I can find, because, again, like I said, it's just you're just reskinning the same. It's like Coke Light. Like, give me a break. It's the same thing, but you're changing it marginally enough to pander to an audience or something. I don't get it. Me.
I totally agree. Like, just create a brand new character instead of just ripping another one off.
Put those characters to bed. Put those characters to bed. Let Peter Parker get old. Let that universe, die off, get old, whatever, and come up with new characters.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
We say that, but then comes the idea of having to make a new original idea, and someone's going to get mad about it anyway.
Heaven forbid we come up with a new idea.
Telling you, man, like nothing nowadays. Like I haven't heard of an original idea in years.
No, there's no more original content. It's just the same rehashed garbage over and over and over again.
Like
someone probably even did like that fucking Hobo Joe superhero thing, just like Stark and Wayne, but homeless.
I haven't seen it. I wouldn't mind seeing that, but again, yeah, but see that would be at least a decently new take, because you're still looking at somebody who is a Stark, a Wayne, but without effectively that was Bane, right? Like, yeah, Bane is on, which is really bumming, because like they portrayed him in the films as an idiot, but Bane is Batman's intellectual equal.
Yep.
Like he's just as smart as Batman, but he was raised in the criminal system. So he's actually anti-Batman.
He's the opposite to Batman.
Hey, but what if we took Bane and then made him a hero now? Put him in a different story.
Mm-hmm. Again,
that's the movie. What I just did is what the movie studios are doing. Never mind.
Yeah, so you're still taking it's the same sort of principle, right? Just come up with something new. But which is a good segue into a superhero that I created when I was a child, who's always given me endless amounts of joy, and his name is Enging-Face Man.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to run that by me one more time.
Yeah, Enging-Face Man.
No, you lost me.
Yeah, so he was an engineer, one of those theoretical engineers, those fancy smart guys working on a new jet engine that with the radiation and the whatnot, and it broke and fell on him, and his body fused with the engine. So now his part man, and then part like his face is the conical end of a jet engine. Like the fire part where the flames come out the back. That's what his face is.
Oh my God.
And he flies. When he flies, he has to do a handstand, and he takes off, flies backwards, so feet first, and then his cape always gets caught, in the flames of the engine, and he gets all tattered and caught on fire. So when you look up in the sky and you see that, the exhaust trail in the air, that's him, bud, saving your town. He's coming to save your town.
Jet Enging-Face Man.
That's Jet Enging-Face Man, yeah. And he has a hard time, interrogating criminals, because every time he grabs a guy and tries to talk to him, he melts their face. So it's the struggles.
You've drawn this.
Oh yeah, I've drawn it. There's the struggles of trying to, come to terms with your new reality, right? And I think that's what we need, more characters like that. Like this poor man now has to deal with the fact that he has a jet engine for a face.
Like he has drawn this, because when we were talking about this in the office the other day, I said, okay, you need to draw him. So he went back to the desk. He went back to his desk, and he came to me with this Jet Enging-Face Man, this typical superhero pose, big muscles, cape, tights with a jet engine for a face.
I need this picture.
And it was, I looked at him like, I want that on a shirt.
It was really funny, because I had been drawing him for a while, and then I had there was an assignment in our graphic design when I took the course, and it was like, create a superhero poster for a movie or whatever. And everybody was doing these photoshops of themselves as Superman.
That's what I had to fucking do with my
thing. So I was like, fuck that! I'm doing Jet Enging-Face Man the movie, so I like drew them, colored them, and made the poster, and it looked so fucking shitty, but it was the most retarded looking freaking news.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, I still have it somewhere. It's floating around.
Please send this to us.
Oh,
I
need
it
to
was
see that.
so silly, and when I remember putting it up on the board in front of with everybody else's, and it was just everybody put all this time and effort into theirs to make like a serious superhero, and then I was like, yeah, he's got a jet engine for a face, super. And everybody was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh yeah, so he's got ancillary characters as well. One
oh
of
my
them,
God.
one of his sort of cohorts is named the Pube, and so it's a giant sentient mass of pubes that
I hate it.
sort of navigates around the city like Spider-Man, using like the pubes as tendrils. And there's like a very large sort of softball-sized crab that lives inside him and just like crawls around with him as well.
You got crabs, okay?
Yeah, just one, and the crab talks for him.
All right.
The pube can't talk, but because he's sentient, he has a telepathic link with the crab, and the crab can talk.
I kind of vision the crab having like a New York type accent on it.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
How does the crab talk?
Like, hey, what are you?
Because-
Can you
how
see
is
me
he
swinging
able to?
here? Yeah.
Well, like, how is the lobster able to talk in Little Mermaid? He talks, man. Suspension.
Look, I need a full origin story here. This is amazing.
Suspension of disbelief. I don't know. Like a lot of people working at the nuclear power plant were shaving their pubes in the bottom bathroom and radiation. I didn't really go into depth with backstories. I just tried to make the most asinine characters I could. Like this one guy, like I didn't have a real good name for him. I was just calling him Super Naked Fat Guy. And I think I might call him the Hedonist. But so you know the story of Achilles, right? Where Athena grabbed Achilles by his heel and dipped him into this like fountain of water that made him invincible. Well, this guy was like a Roman hedonist. So like, you know, the guys that sit around and just get like young boys to feed them all day and rub them down with olive oil, like just eats all day and just living the high life. So he was he found the fountain, right? And he wanted to drink it. And so, you know, because he wanted to experience the ultimate thirst quench. And so when he went to go drink the water in the fountain, he fell in, thereby making him invincible and immortal.
I like that. I need to see a picture of that.
It's literally, he's just a naked fat guy.
But he has to have Greek stuff. He has to have like that crown of leaves.
Yeah. He's got the laurels. Yeah, no, he wears the laurels.
You know,
he's like Little Caesar but fat.
Yeah, exactly, and naked because he's a hedonist and he doesn't care about clothing. All he wants to do is experience the fine things in life. So he can't, you know, the people will shoot him and the bullets will just bounce off. Yeah. I haven't really come up with any villains or anything, and I'm pretty sure I was really high when I came up with a lot of these. But
see, you actually have some creativity there. When I had to make my fucking like hero or villain poster or whatever, I took the shitty Photoshop photo of me, which ended up being like better than half the people in the fucking class for some reason. I threw some lightning around it, and I couldn't come up with a name, so absent-mindedly I just typed Lightning McLightnington.
Nice. There you go.
You oh, that's right. I remember you telling me that you took a graphic designer course too.
Lightning McLightnington. Well,
yeah,
so
it was like a communication thing for film, you know.
Yeah.
But that works because it's not, you know, the assignment wasn't so much about what your superhero's name is or even who your superhero is. It was just knowing the fundamentals of how to use the program and assemble a poster for print production, right? So literally it could be whatever, but that's generally what a lot of people were doing was like photoshopping themselves as superheroes because they were just like, yeah, this is fun, ha ha ha. And I was like, no, I'm going to draw a fucking... So it looked like an animated feature, you know, but...
Make it an anime.
I would watch Enging-Face Man.
And there you go. How hard is that? I just came up with 3 new inventive characters, albeit kind of gross and weird, but Three new characters right there.
Okay, but Kevin brought up the Tick like 7 times. That's pretty fucking weird on its own. In the first episode, I just watched the first episode before we started. He threatened to suck a man's blood out with a fucking straw.
Was that the animated series?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. That show's so good. I love the Tick. He's one of my favorite superheroes, actually. Growing up, that show killed me. Chairface Chippendale. Oh my god, the multiple Santas one was fucking wild. It's such a stupid show. It's so amazing. Die Flittermouse is one of my favorite characters too, because he's just like a shitty Batman.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, which literally, that's Die Flittermouse is German for bat. So he's supposed to be like a commentary on Batman, but if everything that Batman was, he's the opposite, where he's just so shitty.
What have you just sent us here, Kevin?
I just sent you when Aaron first started talking to me about Jet Engine Face Man, about how the jet engine fell on his head and it melded with his body, and he goes,
okay,
totally reminds me of Powdered Toast Man.
Exactly, that's kind of where I got like drawing some influence. Object as part of like the superhero's body,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love so think Powdered Toast Man, but instead of a big piece of toast, it's a jet engine.
Have you ever heard of Powdered Toast Man, Will?
I have never seen this before in my life, and I'm terrified.
Okay. Powdered Toast Man was a superhero in the Ren and Stimpy
Powdered Toast Man.
Yeah, it's a Ren and Stimpy cartoon. You've heard of Ren and Stimpy, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Ren and Stimpy. I'll post this commercial for Powdered Toast Man in the thing, so you can have like an idea of what Powdered Toast Man is. So, and I'll get Adam to post Powdered Toast Man this commercial in there. So it's kind of like, so you have an idea of what.
Well, it's like he's like a superhero, but he's not a superhero. He's like a mascot to sell powdered toast.
Yeah.
So like cinnamon sugar toast, I guess. And then but he's just like busts through your freaking ceiling and just
Powdered Toast Man. Yeah, that's just what it reminded me of. So
have some powdered toast, Billy.
It feels like this is making fun of all of the fucking superheroes that were made just for toys, but this is food.
Yeah,
that's exactly. That's exactly
like that. I'm looking at the commercial right now. It's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, he's like the corporate made superhero, designed to sell a product. And but it's so funny because everybody in the Ren and Stimpy universe just adores him.
Everybody loves. They have little action figures of Powdered Toast Man and the whole 9 yards. Yeah. So now that we've talked about our favorite superheroes, mine being Superman and Will's being Deadpool and
Captain Deadpool.
Captain Deadpool.
And Aaron's being a long convoluted list.
I was just about to say that Aaron's being a long convoluted list, but we'll say that we'll say that your favorite superhero
Jet Engine Face Man
is Jet Engine Face Man.
That's right. If any of the Marvel or DC execs want to reach out to me on the Jet Engine Face Man property, just
I think you need to put that in your shirt line for the Booty Boys.
That would be so out of place.
$20 million he's asking for Jet Engine Face Man.
And a producer's credit.
And a producer's credit.
Well, that's fair. $20 million that's reasonable.
Well, I'd like to be part of the writing team. I feel like I've got a lot to give, especially since I created them.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
I would agree with that too. I would totally agree with that.
And I feel like he should have like a really shitty name, like Hank.
I'm sorry, all the Hanks watching. I'm so sorry.
Well, just like that's a terrible name for a superhero. Well, I guess it was Hank Pym, but like like something like Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Yeah.
Cliff or something like Cliff.
Yeah, I was thinking Cliff too. Just like not
Cliff.
not shitty.
Jet Enging-Face Man, we figured out your secret identity. Or should I say, Lloyd McFluffington?
Yeah, just we meet again, Harold.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Instead of, oh shit, it's just like a little bit of like jet engine sputter.
Yeah. Well, the funny part is like he when he speaks, it just sounds like a plane doing like Mach 3. Just yet everybody understands him.
Is there that one guy like on the street? He's like, "What are you saying?"
Yeah,
except one guy. Like everybody understands him except one guy.
Yeah, I like the idea of him doing like an interrogation where he grabs the guy and he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen that man before in my life." All right, damn it, you got me.
Like a 1980s biplane sound effect.
Yeah, well, I can't make a jet engine noise, but
Oh,
you know what I'm saying.
That's hilarious. Okay, so all right,
he accidentally melts his face.
So
accidentally.
We've talked about our favorite superheroes.
Yes.
So,
correct.
Do we have? Because I have a feeling we're running out a little bit of time here. Do we have our favorite supervillains?
Ooh.
Do we have a favorite supervillain?
I forgot to mention Spawn too. He's up there, but I talked about Spawn enough. You all know I like Spawn.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Spawn, and then I thought, well, we had a whole episode where he went on for like half an hour.
You all know.
Well, Spawn is up there with the antihero with Deadpool.
Yeah, he's in the antihero. Super villains though. That's
super villain. And just like anybody listening to us right now, if you have your favorite superhero, favorite supervillain, put it up on our social media and
tweet at us.
Let us know. Let us know what's going on. I had someone today. I was talking to someone today. I was talking to my friend Chantel, and she told me that
Chantel.
She'll be listening. So hi, Chantel.
Hi, Chantel.
She'll be listening.
How's the kid?
She was telling me, and I was talking to Amanda today too. Amanda told me, but we'll go with Chantel first. Her first favorite superhero is Papa Smurf.
That is not a superhero.
What? He's the hero of the Smurfs.
No, I'm sorry.
I mean, he is the father of all of them. That's pretty fucking super without a lady.
No,
that's true.
Nope, not a superhero.
Not a superhero. Okay, and Amanda.
Try again.
Try again. Amanda's favorite superhero, because I told them both that I would mention it, is Sailor Moon.
Not a superhero.
Sailor Moon's not a superhero? She's extraordinary.
Okay, here's the thing, though, right? Anime, you have like super people in anime, but in the universe that they have created, it is the norm for these people to just kind of do their thing there.
Yeah, they're what the Sailor whatever.
The Sailor Moon, Sailor Venus, Sailor Mars.
Yeah, but they have like a name for the name for the group.
The Sailor Scouts.
That's it. Yeah, the Sailor Scouts. So I mean, they're more like park.
Please don't ask me how I know that. But
like if anime were counting in this, like this is even me saying no, this doesn't count. If anime were to count in this, fucking Naruto would be way up there for me.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I fucking grew up on that shit.
Anime doesn't count.
Okay, well then.
Okay, all right. So
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Sailor Moon is kick ass.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, but
I feel like just in this particular sort of area that we're in, anime kind of falls into a different category.
Yeah, that's a different different biome.
All right, well, that's in the words of my favorite TV chef Alton Brown. That's a whole other show.
Exactly.
All right, so we're in agreement that Papa Smurf is not a superhero, and neither is Sailor Moon in this context. Anyways, so
like Batman would kick Papa Smurf's ass.
I don't know about that, man.
Batman couldn't kick his ass. He's too small. He would step on him.
Yeah, exactly. Like literally, I could kick Papa Smurf's ass, man. Like, I think to be a superhero, you have to have
okay, so
something.
Super villain. Who's your favorite villain in the superhero world? Favorite villain?
Oh, fuck.
I've been thinking while you guys were talking.
Okay, so... No, fuck, those are just villains, not super villains. And it's anime, too. God damn it.
No, you can't choose anime.
Yeah, I
All
just said we can't do that. I was going to say Jesse and James from Pokemon, but I can't.
Yeah, that's anime.
I gotta go with, like, the one that always comes to the top of my mind is Mr. Freeze.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I always thought that he had a really compelling, like, backstory, right? Like, he wasn't necessarily a bad guy. He was just, he's thrust into a bad situation, and,
He's taking care of his wife.
he's trying to keep his wife alive and shit, right?
Yeah.
So that whole thing, I always thought that's a really cool sort of driving factor for a villain, and for him to be, who he is. So, and plus, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger's portrayal of him in that freaking movie was wild.
Horrible.
Yeah, it was something
Horrible.
something else, man.
Chill. Yeah, shut up. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody freeze.
Oh my god.
I was like, what is going on here?
Chill out with these puns, my dude.
No, those are actual quotes from the movie. Chill. Yeah, shut up, man.
Yeah, he just busts in and friggin' we go to have another ice age. It's like, okay, buddy, come on. That was but yeah, I've always liked Mr. Freeze. Yeah, that's probably the first one that comes to mind. If I had more time, I'd definitely pick some more. But
I think off the top of my head, I'm gonna say Sandman.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
Why?
What was it? Spider-Man 3 from with Tobey Maguire? Was that the one?
I think so.
I think that was the one.
I think
yeah,
so.
but he's from the comics.
He had a really interesting, like little side storyline. I always wanted to see more of that as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a kid, I wanted to know about his fucking dying family. That's how you know I actually gave a shit.
Well, yeah. Yeah, the Sandman's a really cool character.
Sandman's a great character.
Yeah, like how do you fight sand? That's crazy.
Yeah, you can't. You gotta
apparently
freeze it
with morals and emotion.
Yeah, exactly. And then he just blows away.
Yeah,
you fight
Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man did the dusting before Infinity War.
Yeah, you fight. Yeah. You fight sand with sad feelings.
And water.
And water. Yeah, then it just becomes Mudman. Yeah.
There's another good villain, Clayface. I loved Clayface. I used to have the action figure for him, like the big chunky one, when I was a kid, and I loved it. It was probably one of my favorite toys. I just
forgot Joker existed.
Yeah, but that's so easy, man. Like literally
I completely forgot about him.
Okay, well then
Joker, dude, he's like the best guy ever, dude.
Whoa, dude.
Joker, dude.
Yeah. Joker's pops up everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. Joker's everywhere. Joker's in Mortal Kombat 11 for crying out loud.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's had so many incarnations.
Yeah, he's so many. However, if we're going to talk Joker, we're going to talk out to the best Joker voice, in my opinion, Mark Hamill.
By far.
Luke Skywalker himself, without question. Yeah. Anyway, but I'm assuming you guys are going to know who mine is.
Mm-hmm. Is it someone from Superman?
Maybe. Don't say Lex Luthor.
That's exactly who I was going to say.
Is it
really?
I thought it would be the Daleks for a second. That would have been cool.
Yeah. What? The Daleks would be in the next roundup.
Not the super
okay, can I jump in like really quick and talk about something from like a few episodes ago?
Sure, real quick.
Okay, like super quick. We were talking weird food combinations.
Yeah.
And we didn't even fucking bring up fish fingers and custard, which I've actually tried.
Good point. We don't think we did, yeah.
No, we didn't.
I realized this after the fact, after we all left the call, and I was pissed at myself for not even considering it.
Fish fingers and custard. Well, we're gonna have to talk about it again when we do our Doctor Who episode.
That's right.
Which will probably be pretty soon.
Weird food part 2.
Weird food part 2. We gotta talk about that. Totally.
We could actually bring up weird food again, but make it like even weirder.
All right, I gotta hear Kevin's case for Lex Luthor because
let's hear this.
Oh yeah, sure. Put me on the spot. I just like I do it to you guys, so I understand. That's fair.
Just justified us immediately.
Yeah. I just liked Lex Luthor because he was a smart guy, right? He was a smart guy, and it's very obvious. He's smart. He doesn't have as much money as Stark or anything like that, but he has his super intelligence as well, Lex Luthor, right? Not as smart as Stark, and I know, we were talking about earlier as superheroes who are really smart and have a lot of money, right? Those two pair together. But
for villains, it's really smart with no money.
Lex Luger. I said Lex Luger. He's a wrestler. Lex Luthor is not as smart as them and doesn't have as much money as them. But
he's a businessman,
exactly. He's a businessman, so he tries to outsmart Superman in many different ways by just teaming up with the people with the powers.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
He's a strategist, right?
That's right.
His power lies in strategy, and he's got some wealth. I think he's up there with Batman, he's up there with Bruce Wayne for sure.
He's up there, but he doesn't really use it to his advantage. He pays other supervillains to try and defeat Superman.
Well, because he just doesn't trust Superman. Right?
No.
That's his whole shtick. Eh?
One man should have all that power, and it's weird.
I am almost certain that I haven't read the comic books in years. I haven't followed it in years and years and years. So my knowledge on Lex Luthor, I keep calling him Luger. Lex Luthor might super out of date. But I've always understood that Lex knew who Superman was from really close to him. And doesn't want to reveal it because he's having too much fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that Lex knows that Superman is Clark Kent, but
spoilers.
Spoilers.
I didn't know that. What the fuck?
keeping that under his hat because he knew that if Superman and Clark Kent were revealed as the same person, then all his fun would be taken away.
That's a really good point, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's almost the same lines as if Joker knows
a really bored businessman
who Batman is. Well, I truly think that Joker knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Well, that's the thing. I like Lex Luthor's coming from he's not totally wrong either, right? He's coming from a pretty understandable standpoint. Superman's an alien, dude. He's not from our planet.
He's not.
That's his whole thing. He's like, this guy shouldn't be here. He shouldn't have all that power. And what happens when he decides to turn on us?
Which he could
at any time. So I think that's a really interesting sort of motivation for a villain as well. So he's not evil so much as he's concerned, but a dick about it.
Yeah. Well, saying a dick about it is really downplaying it. I would say where he's coming from is 100% justified. I can stand with his reasoning,
which is totally true.
Maybe not.
Which is totally true because Superman honestly could just wake up one day and within
realize how shit we all are.
10-15 minutes destroy the whole planet.
Well, and that's what happened with I think it was called Red Sun.
Yeah, where he landed in Russia.
Yeah. So this is an alternate reality. Yeah, where he lands in Russia and becomes the fucking Iron Fist for the USSR.
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh my god.
Such a cool storyline.
Yeah. So we've talked about, so that's my favorite superhero. That's my favorite supervillain. Those are all yours. I think
I do like Lex, and he actually teamed up with the Justice League. There was one point, I think it was Luthor from a different dimension, but he came through and he was working with the Justice League. So, but that's what makes a good villain, right? If you can identify with him, and if there's more to the villain, right? That's what makes a good villain. Not just
if you find yourself having moral difficulties on whether or not you should like or dislike the villain, they have a good plot to them, and that's perfect.
Yeah, dude, and I love that. And it's not just some guy that's like, I'm evil. No.
Well, a lot of heroes are just like, I want to protect the world. Okay, why? I want to. Why?
Yeah.
Like a
'Cause
lot of the
it's
time
there.
it's shit like that, and with heroes, and that kind of makes them boring to me. But looking into villains, you can see that a lot more time has been put into like the sort of emotional and moral points in the backstory.
Yeah, and even that's what makes Batman such an awesome and compelling character as well. He's got that, his code and morals, and he's trying to make the city a better place. But then, he keeps getting confronted by these situations and conflicting ideals, and it's like it's a roller coaster. But yeah, I mean that's good storytelling right there.
And once again, that's why I think that these days we need the superheroes, right? We need the superheroes that we have, like Superman, Batman, Iron Man, the Tick, Enging-Face Man. We need those. We need those types of things, especially in the world that we live in today, which we're not going to get into. But we need these kind of things to maybe take our mind off the outside
Let's
world.
really think for a second, Dewey, because like you see, at least I see a bunch of these memes on Facebook and a bunch of different groups and Twitter and fucking whatever about how like there's always this big epic battle between hero and villain, and then the town's in ruins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
One Punch Man
true.
makes a pretty good point on that, despite it being an anime and fucking ridiculous. It brings up that excellent point. Like a whole town can be fucking destroyed, but the hero is still considered a hero.
All you got to do is, if you live in that world, just buy stock in construction companies. That's all.
And you'd be an instant
Clearly.
quadbillionaire, like trillionaire, instant trillionaire. All right, guys. Well, that was a really good conversation. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
That
was a really, really good one.
That was one of the more positive ones. I feel.
But before we go, I did say earlier that I was going to go down our stuff here on Anchor to see where we get our listeners from, and because we got a new listener from Israel and things like that. I know because everybody everybody.
Before you do this, let's plug everything we need to plug.
I like how it's just
in case
one guy.
Okay, so Aaron, do you have anything you need to plug right now?
No.
What about your booty boys, man? You got a whole thing of merch going on here.
Oh yeah, I started putting some of my stupid designs on t-shirts. It's on Teespring, the website that you can buy shirts that artists put their stuff on. It's called Booty Boys with a Z. Good luck trying to find it because I'm not that popular yet. But if you have me on Facebook, I have links there. I'm not really good at this.
Hey man, you did it. I'm gonna buy a t-shirt once I get paid next week.
Sick, thanks man. I'm probably gonna get samples, so I'm excited.
I'm gonna buy a t-shirt. Like
I think I'm actually gonna buy some.
I think I'm probably gonna buy. I'm gonna buy Little Man in a Boat.
I like the Little Man in a Boat. That's
Little Man in a Boat.
one word or two for Booty Boys.
Two words. Capital B on both, and boys with a Z because I'm funky fresh like that.
All right, so Will, what are you plugging now?
Well, I guess I'll throw my Instagram and Twitter handles. That's billiardyo or billiard.yo on Instagram, and RIMAN3 Ryman3 on Twitch. I hit affiliate recently. That's fucking wild.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Woo!
Love it.
I don't really have anything to plug. The only thing I have to plug is this podcast. And if you're listening to it, thanks. But
my dude.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. We don't do that. We don't do that till the end, man. We don't do that to the end. Or are you talking about my social media?
Whatever, man. Whatever you want to plug. Plug it all.
Well, I got an Instagram at the Gingerbeard Man. There's my Instagram. And my what the hell is that called now? The yellow one. What is it called? Snapchat. That's right. Snapchat. Canadian. The yellow one. I'm Canadian Red on Snapchat, and that's pretty much it for that one. But we're gonna go into just real quick. We have some listeners in Canada. 52% of our listeners are here in Canada. In Ontario, In Ontario, we actually have quite a bit all over Ontario, believe it or not. Bob Cajun, Sault Ste. Marie, Toronto, Collingwood, Markham, Port Hope, Peterborough, and Kitchener.
Cool.
Kitchener.
That's Kitchener. That's pretty out there. Kitchener. In United States, 39% of our listeners in the United States are in Oregon.
Oh.
Oregon,
Yo,
George.
I got something for Kitchener listeners.
Do you?
Yeah, Bob Discount Windows and Doors. Shoot us a message if you know what that is, Kitchener listeners.
We got in our United States. That's.
I don't feel right. I feel dirty.
That's out there. That's out there, man. That's left field. In the United States, we have Oregon, Georgia, Washington, Massachusetts, Ohio, Virginia, Kentucky, and California.
Damn, what up, America?
Not bad.
Yeah, I know, eh? Now we have it, believe it or not, in Ireland.
Oh.
In
No
Ireland.
fucking way. Wait, do you know where?
Yeah, I do. And I can't even pronounce it. Leinster, Ireland, Leinster. Leinster in Ireland. That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Awesome. Romania. Not enough data to tell me whereabouts in Romania. Israel. I guess it's
Dan's, not Bob's. Sorry, Dan's Discount Windows and Doors.
Discount Windows and Doors.
That's. I feel even more. Yeah.
I posted the link in our
dirty. I feel dirty.
Drug ring, like
Central. Don't get us in trouble with them, okay? We don't need to get in trouble. Central District in Israel.
Oh, that sounds like a pleasant place to live.
Yeah, Albania.
Where are you from? Central District. Oh,
Australia. 1%. New South Wales in Australia.
Hey.
New South Wales in Australia.
Are they mad at us about the Vegemite bit?
Maybe.
What happened to Old South Wales?
I don't know. But yeah, so we got 45% listen to us on Spotify.
We're official. We're Aussies now.
We're Aussies now.
We're multinational, and we're Aussies now, mate.
We're Aussies now. All right, guys, that was a fantastic episode. That was really great. I think that was really good.
Loved it.
But thanks for listening to There's Nobody Here Named Josh podcast. I'm Kevin, the host, alongside Will.
I'm also here.
And Mr. Aaron.
Hi.
We are produced by Adam Upper, a.k.a. Say it.
Man Chunk Stump.
That's
Chunks.
right.
Stump Chunkman.
Stump Chunkman. And our logo was created by the amazing Aaron Allison-Drini, the creator of Enging-Face Man.
Yeah, that's right. The panel.
The panel.
One day you'll look back and be like, hey, I was there. They talked about the now famous Enging-Face Man.
And the pube.
The pube.
You can follow what we're doing on our social media at There's No Josh on Instagram and Twitter, and There's Nobody Here Named Josh podcast on Facebook, and we're even on YouTube, and you can find this podcast wherever you find your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that sort of stuff. You can find us there. Leave a message on our social media, give us a chat, we'll give you a shout out next time we record, and see ya.
Take care.
Bye-bye.